Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made these shorts, and it's actually the easiest thing you'll actually make because there's only make the main shorts and then the scallop edging, and then obviously make the eye cord, and then at the back here we've got the two stars which are glued on top of each other. It's like so easy. Basically I filmed a different video where it was like Pinterest picks up my crochet project, and then that was how I stumbled upon this, by the way. So this was not my original idea. I found it on Pinterest and decided to remake it. But I will give you a tutorial on how I did that now. And I will try my best as well to make it as big and friendly as possible. I will try. But the stitches we're going to be using is just double crochet, half double crochet, and single crochet. Them are the stitches that we're going to need for this video. But without talking too much, let's just get into the video now. Series, I've got 4 different colored yarns. You don't have to use 4, but I'm using 4. The white one is going to be my main one for this one. And then we're going to use the green one to make our rope, like the eye cord. And then the red one is going to be the scallop edging. But I haven't decided just yet. But obviously that is really up to you. I haven't decided which one I want to be the scallop edging between these two. But as we go down the line, we will decide. But 4 different colors of yarn was what I used. So yeah, we're going to start now. And then for the materials, for the other materials, I have a needle to weave in my ends, and I have a cutter. And I'm using a 4mm hook for this project. And then I also have a 4-weight yarn. This yarn's really old, but like I just thought to use it. Here's all the details about the yarn I'm using. So we're gonna start, and for the measurements I'm gonna show you how it fits on me and then work from that, because what I normally do is just put it against myself. So we're gonna start by chaining whatever goes from across our waist. So I'm gonna chain that and I'll show you where this should end, okay? So to chain, you're gonna start by just yarn over and then put your yarn just like so. And then do a slip knot, just like that. And then put your hook through. And now you're gonna chain whatever chain goes across your waist, but make sure when you make sure when it goes across your waist, it goes across your hips as well. So when it goes across your hips, you need to make sure like you pull it really tightly. I'm gonna do that and I will be back. So to chain, yarn over, pull through, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay guys, I've done 120 chains, and when I put it around my waist where the band is, right, it should like touch. 1 second, let me do it from the front, sorry. So when I put it around, it should touch without stretching. Don't stretch it. So like that lower waist right there, don't stretch it. Just make sure it touched like just as it touches, right? And then when you put it around your widest part of your body, make sure you're like stretching, make sure you're struggling with it. Like not struggle, but like make sure like it's like you stretch it to get around your hips, right? So I've chained 120 for mine and it fits just right. I chained 120 for this one as well. So when it goes around your hip, your waist, make sure it's just normal, I guess, but don't stretch it. But then when it goes around your hips, make sure you stretch, and then it should fit like this, okay? Now we're gonna go and start working on round 1. I pull that right there. Okay, so as soon as you got your chains, what you want to make sure you do now is have your chains facing up. You see where like the braided looking part is? Make sure it's facing up, and make sure you have it facing up until you get to the end of this bit, right? Make sure your work does not twist. And then when you get to the end right here, we're going to put our hook through the first chain, okay? Just like so. You see that? And then you're going to grab your yarn, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through, and then pull through again. And now your work should be in a circle like so, okay? Because we're going to be working in a circle. And now for what you want to do is you want to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and then we want to work into every single chain around and have the same stitch count. So first ignore this chain 2. When we come back around, I'll tell you what to do with it. So after you chain up 2, you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go into this space right here for your first double crochet. Put your hook through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're gonna work double crochets all around. So put your hook in the second bit, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, just like so. And now I'm gonna work all around, and I'm gonna come back with 120 double crochet in the first round. Okay. Also, the reason why I'm working with this is because I'm trying to weave in my end. You don't have to, but I just like weaving my end as I go. You can just leave it and weave it when you finish, but I prefer weaving as I go along. But I will finish round one and I will be back to let you know the next step. Okay guys, so I'm at the very end and I've got one more stitch to work into, which I'm gonna do now. Just like so. And your work should look like this, and the circle should be just right. Okay, and then if you see at the top here is our chain two. So 1, 2 is our chain two, and then we're gonna go ahead and slip stitch in this first double crochet here. So I'm gonna put my hook through that first V there, put it through, yarn over, pull through, and then just pull through straight away. And it should look like this. Okay, and then you're gonna pull tightly to get this little thing here like tight. Okay, and then you're gonna chain up to 1 and 2, turn your work, and now we're gonna work from this side back around to this area here, and then you're gonna yarn over, and then in this space here we're gonna put a double crochet. So this is round 2. We're gonna put 1 double crochet in this space, and then can you see the V's? Another double crochet in this V space, another double crochet. And basically what you want to keep doing is you want to just keep working in circles. You want to keep working all around. Remember to count your stitches. So you're going to come back to this last stitch here. Do you see the last V there? You're going to come back there. So now we're just going to keep working around, all around and around, keeping the same stitch count. Remember to count your stitches. So every time I come back around, I will have 120. But anyways, I'm going to keep working round 2. And when I finish with round 2, I will meet you back to show you one more time how to start. Okay guys, so I've got one more space to work into. I'm just going to put my double crochet there. And then at the top here, we've got our chain 2 there, and then you see the space here. We're going to put our slip stitch there, just like we did for the one beneath for round 1, and then put a slip stitch. Pull on that really tightly. Okay, and then you want to chain 2, 1 and 2. Then you want to turn your work around, and then you want to yarn over, and then you're going to put a double crochet in this space here, just like we did for round 2 basically. Put a double crochet, and then keep working double crochets all around. And then guys, I repeated this for 13 rounds. In the next clip, I'm going to show you where to stop and where we're going to start doing our bridge from. Okay guys, so for the split, right, I stopped around here. So you see where my legs split open? That's where I stopped. That's where we did the bridge for the split. You see what I mean? So it should reach about here. I think mine reached about there, and then I stopped, and then I did 2 extra rounds. Obviously if you want yours longer, you just need to keep working with your white yarn. This one's pink, but with your white yarn you just need to keep working until you get the length that you desire, and then once you stop, you just put the scallop edge in. But yeah, this is where mine split, like literally around here. You can put it on to measure. Hey guys, so I'm coming up to the very last one. Also it did get a bit dark, so I'm having to use my lamp, sorry. But I'm gonna do the last chain, the last double crochet, and then on top of here we're gonna slip stitch. Also with the bridge, I've used a guide from ABOC Studio, and just because I don't know how to like give you guys measurements, but that's how I got these measurements, by the way. But basically now we're gonna work like the little split, and what I've done, you can't really see where I've joined my work together. Like I guess you can, but you can't really tell. But with my other one, you could tell. So I've like made this like bit where I stitched them all, like slip stitch. I've made it the side. Do you get what I mean? So this is the side of our short, right? So now It doesn't have to be on yours, but I made it the side on mine. And then what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to, after I've slip stitched, I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to cut off my yarn, okay? Okay, so after I cut my yarn off, I'm just going to pull that through. Just because I want this to be on the side. I don't know why I did that, but I wanted this side to be on my side, okay? And now what you want to do is, obviously I've got 120 stitches, right? Then however many stitches that you got, you need to get like the middle. So like imagine, let me just move this up a bit. So this is our shorts, right? And what we want to do is we want to find the midpoint, and then when you count the midpoints, you'll put a stitch marker and then just stitch the front and the back together, right bang on in the middle. So obviously I've got 120 stitches, and then I'm going to find 60, so because that's bang on in the middle, and I'm going to put a stitch marker in front and at the back. I'm going to do that, and then you should do the same to yours as well. But we're going to make a bridge that splits the leg open. I'm just going to go and count, and I'll put a stitch marker on mine. Okay guys, so get your yarn and then put your hook through where the stitch marker is on one side. I haven't tucked mine out just yet. I'm going to put my hook right there, and then I'm going to yarn over to connect it, and then do a chain 1, okay, just like so, to secure it. And then for a size extra small or small, I'm chaining 8. So size extra small or small, chain 8, size medium, chain 10, size large 10, extra large or an extra large, chain 12. Basically you want to work based on your size, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and chain 8 for mine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, okay? And then you want to go to the other side where the stitch marker is on the other side, and you want to put your yarn through. You can take the stitch marker out, but like just to make sure you're putting in the right one, put it through, yarn over, pull through, just like that, and then just pull through, and it should look something like that. And now we can take our stitch marker out. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing clearly. And when you take your stitch marker out, you should have like a bridge looking like this. And then what I did was I chained 1 and 2, right? And then I started working along here. So we're gonna go from here, we're gonna work around, and I'm gonna yarn over, go into this first stitch here. I'm gonna put a double crochet. So that's where you can put a stitch marker here to remind you that that's where you're coming back to. But I'm gonna just do that. You don't have to because you can see it, but like if you need it, just put it there. But we're gonna work all around, and then I should come back, and when I get back to where I connected my yarn, I'm gonna show you how to work up the bridge, okay? Okay guys, so I am now coming up to where like the bridge is. So obviously this is not properly secured. What you can do with yours is tie it, but like I'm gonna just weave it in as I go along this bridge. So make sure that's proper secured, because that can literally come out easily. But like tie yours, but I'm not going to tie mine. I'm going to show you what I do with mine. But anyways, we've got like 1, 2, 3 more before we get to this bridge here. So I'm going to work 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. And then as you can see, we've got the bridge right here. So wait, let me just get that properly. Can you see that? It's like the V. Can you see the V there? Right there. Okay, anyways, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work from this stitch right here. We're gonna work into each V stitch, so on one side, so we can use the other side for the other side, if you get what I mean. So now we're gonna I'm gonna work into this space right here, just to make sure that my work is secured. So I've got 1 extra stitch there. It's okay, you don't have to, you can if you want to. And then I'm gonna get this out the way so I can use it on that side. And then you're gonna work 8 double crochet in this stitch here until we get back to where we did our 2, do you see there? Where we did the 2 chains. So I'm gonna yarn over, and then I'm gonna put 8 double crochets across the bridge, but like just one side of the V. I'm gonna do 1, and then that one's done. This is the next one here. See that? 2. We're gonna come back to sort this out, by the way. And then 3. Okay. And then just keep working. If you got 10, do 10. If you got 12, do 12. however many you've got. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the last one, and it's just here. Make sure you just find it, okay? And that's the bridge done. So this is one side done, and then when we move to the other side, we're gonna work into this space right here. And now we're gonna just go to where you see where you got your chain 2 right there. We're gonna go straight to the first double crochet we did. We're gonna go to the top there, yarn over, and then do a slip stitch, just like so. And your short should look like this, okay? And now what you want to do is chain 2, turn your work around, and then we're going to work back around to this chain 2. I'm going to do 2 rounds for mine because mine was pretty short, but like if you want yours longer than that, you can do more than 2 rounds. So while still ignoring this other leg, right? So we're going to turn our work around, and then we're going to work all around again. Oh, sorry. Until we get back to where the chain 2 is. So I'm gonna go and do that. Okay guys, so I'm working round 2 for the leg, and I'm nearly back to where we did the 2 chains. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 to work into, so I'm just gonna do that. And then the last one. And now that is done, so we've got 2 extra rounds for the leg. So now we've got 15 rounds. You can do 16, 17, 18, that's really up to you. And then we're gonna come back to work on this side of this leg. So after I've done that, I'm gonna go into the first one right here. I'm gonna put my hook through, yarn over, pull through both, pull that tightly, and then I'm gonna chain 1. And then I'm going to cut my yarn off. Alright, so once you've done that, your work should look like this. Here's where we have the little chain. So it should look like this. We've done 1 leg. We added 2 extra stitches to that side. And now we're going to do this other leg. It's not 2 extra stitches, 2 extra rounds, okay? Now we're going to do the second one. If you want yours longer than that, you can add more to it. Because I'm going to add the scallop edging and also the top bit right here, I will just stop here, okay? And now to do the next round, okay, I'm gonna start working from this side, okay? You see that? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work from inside, and then we're gonna work all around. You don't have to, but like that's what I'm gonna do. So now I'm gonna go to where, do you see like where I did the chain there? I'm gonna go somewhere around here, and then I'm gonna put my hook through. And then I'm going to weave this loose yarn. So hopefully I've explained that part correctly and you guys understand what I mean. But one second, let me just connect my yarn to work with. Oh, I'm struggling here. Okay, got it. So you're going to go into like this bit right here, and then we're going to work all around, and then we're going to come back up here to the bridge, okay? So just ignore that part now. And now I'm going to connect my yarn. I'm going to chain 1 and chain 2. Also, we're going to get this loose yarn, and then this one, we're going to bring it with us so it doesn't come undone. And then now what you want to do is go into this next V space, and you're going to put a double crochet. You might have 1 extra stitch because I just stuck it into a random place there. And then as you go along, you're going to pick this yarn with you just so it's nice and secure. And then just work the next stitch in the next space, the next stitch in the next space, while bringing these 2 loose yarn with you, okay? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work all around, and then I'm gonna come back. When I get back down here, I'm gonna meet you there, okay? So here's where we started, right? Is where our chain 2 is, and we're coming back to where the chain 2 is. So I've got 2 more stitches to work into down here, 1 and 2. And now what you want to do is you just want to work whatever many stitches, so this piece of hair, you worked along there. Obviously I had 8 of them, so you want to work 8, 10, 12, whatever you add, and you want to work it across this bridge so you get here, and then we're going to slip stitch on the first stitch here So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So 8. And now what you want to do is go up to the top of this first. So there's our 2 chains, and then there's the first one. Go up to the top there, and then you're gonna slip stitch, and then you're gonna chain 1 and 2, and then you're gonna turn your work around. And now what we want to do is we want to work, so we're still ignoring this bit, we want to work across again and then come back to where the chain 2 is. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and I will meet you right back when I finish this other leg. So I've got 2 more stitches before I slip stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch at the very first one here, pull back tightly, chain 1, and then I'm going to cut my yarn off, and then pull through and just pull tightly like so, and then your shorts should literally look like this. That bit's a bit pointy, but I promise you when you put it on, it's okay. Okay, so here's what it should look like. Here's what mine looked like when I finished. So we've got the 2 legs split open there, and then there's the middle part. So obviously if you're someone who don't like your short to be really short, you can keep working all around. You don't have to do just 2 rounds, you can do 3, you can do 4, 5, 6. Anyways, this is done, and now we're gonna use our yellow yarn to work around the top and then around the bottom as well. The yellow yarn, you can use whatever one you want obviously, but what I did, I picked a spot on the side here, and then I just literally connected my yarn like I would normally do. You can tie yours on, you can do whatever, but I like to just put my hook through, yarn over, and then chain 1, and then chain 2. The same space, I'm going to put a half double crochet in that same space there, just like so. And then in the next space, I'm going to put a half double crochet while bringing this yellow strand with me so I can just weave it in. And then in the next space, I'm going to do a half double, and then all around I should have 120 half double until I reach here. Obviously it'll be a bit more because we added an extra one there, so just keep working all around till you get back to this last stitch here. I'm going to yarn over. You don't have to do this step, this is up to you. And I'm going to just put the yellow yarn across every single stitch. So I've worked all around, and now I've just got like 2 left. I'm going to work 2 more half double crochets, and then there's the 2 chains, and then we're going to slip stitch in the first half double crochet here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then I like to just chain 1, and then again, oh sorry, oh god, just cut my yarn off and then pull that through just like so, and then your work should look something like this across the top. And just sorting out the top, yeah, we're going to do this bit, and then for this bit we're going to do single crochet. So we're going to work on one leg first and then work on the other one after. So we're going to do single crochet all across, and then we're going to do a scallop edging. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that now. And then for the single crochet, you basically do the same thing that you did, and then I'm going to put my hook through. You see where I've finished off here? I'm going to put my hook through there, and then grab my yarn, the yellow one. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and then do 1 chain. Okay, and then in that same space I'm going to do a single crochet. So put a single crochet in here, and then single crochet all across the bottom until you get back down here. So we're working on one leg first. I'm going to also weave this as I go along. I can't speak, so just work all around. I'm done with this part, and now I've got 1 more stitch to work into with a single crochet. And then I'm going to go to the top right here where we did our first single crochet. I'm going to put my hook through there, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch just like so, and your work should look like this. That's 1 leg done. And then now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work a scallop edging all around, and this is so easy. I'm going to show you how to do 1 leg, and then you can do the other leg yourself. It's like literally the same thing. And then for the scallop edging, do a single crochet in the space here, in that very same space, And then what we're going to do is we're going to skip one, and then in the next space we're going to do 5 double crochets. So skip one, and then in this next space do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, okay, and then your work should look like this. And then now we're going to skip one again, and then in the next space we're going to do a single crochet. And this is the same pattern you're literally going to follow all around. So we're going to skip one, and then in the next space we're going to do 5 double crochets. And then we're going to skip one and then do a single crochet in the next space. And here's what your work should look like, and you literally want to repeat this all around till you get back down to the single crochet space, single crochet here. I'm going to just skip one, 5 double, and then I will be back to show you how to finish off. This is what my edging looks like right now, and I'm on my last one. I'm just gonna finish off with the last one there. I've got an extra space, but that's okay, I'll just weave it in. If you got an extra space, that's okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're gonna skip one and then just work. Instead of working here, I'm just gonna work here and then do a single crochet like so, and then I'm gonna chain one and snip that off just there, and then pull that through. Okay, and then that should look somewhat like this. 1 second, just like this. And then you want to just go and repeat that for the other leg. That should be very easy to do. You can rewatch the video and then just copy the same thing that we did with single crochet and then scallop edging, and then you just want to work all around. I'm going to go do that and I will be back when I finish doing it. I'm going to be using 2 strands of yarn for the I-cord, so I've already wounded up some yarn. If you don't have 2 of the same exact one, you can just wind some up. And then I've got my main yarn in the ear as well, and because it's thick, right, we're going to be using a different hook size. So I'm using size 5 for the I-cord. And then to start with the I-cord, right, so I'm going to try my best to explain how this works. You want to start by putting 2 strands of yarn together just like so, okay? And then get your hook, which is our 5mm hook. And then what we want to do now is we want to do a slip knot and then chain 3. So yarn over and then put it behind, pull this up, and then do a slip knot just like so. And then grab your hook, right, and then put it through. Right, and then pull on this, not too tight, okay? And now what you're gonna do is chain 3, so 1, 2, and 3, just like so. And then you want to go into the second chain from the hook, so not this one, the second one. Go through the second chain, yarn over, pull through. Make sure it's like very, not too loose, but like loose in terms of like that. So can you see that? And then we're going to go straight into the 3rd chain, put it through, yarn over, pull through, and it should look like this. Now you're going to have 3 loops in your hook, and then you want to carefully, so pinch down on the 2nd and 3rd, pinch down really tightly, take your hook out of the 2nd and 3rd, right, just like so. And then you want to go over to the yarn, and you want to yarn over, and then you want to pull through the 1st one, just like that. Okay, and then you want to go through the 2nd one, you want to yarn over and you want to pull through, and then you want to go through the 3rd one, and then you want to yarn over and you want to pull through, and then you should be back with 3 loops on your hook again. And then again, take your hook out while holding down tightly on number 2 and 3. So take your hook out carefully, yarn over, pull through the 1st one, and then put your hook in the 2nd one, yarn over, pull through, and then put your hook in the 3rd one, yarn over, pull through. That's another round again done. And then you want to just keep repeating that. So hold tightly on the 2nd and 3rd one, take your hook out, yarn over, pull through, put it in the second one, yarn over, pull through the second one, and then put in the third one, and pull through the third one. Make sure you go through both of them in yarn, okay? And it should look like this. Don't worry, I know it doesn't look like much right now, but as you work along, it will begin looking like this, like thick like this, and also it'll get longer over time. And now for the next round, you're gonna pinch down, take it out, yarn over, pull through, go through the second one here, yarn over, pull through, and then go through the third one, yarn over, pull through, and that's another round done. As you can see, it's starting to form. I'm gonna go through this 3 more times with you, and then you just need to keep repeating the same thing until you get the length that you want. I'm gonna measure mine and let you know the measurement for mine. Okay, so take it out. Also, we want to make sure it's very long so we can weave it through and tie it on the side. So put through the first one, put it through the second one, yarn over, pull through, then put it through the third one, and then yarn over, pull through, just like so. It's a bit tight. Just make sure you like pull up a bit, okay? And then I'm gonna do that twice more. Yarn over, pull through, go through the second one. You don't have to do this with 2 loops, by the way. You can do it with 1, that's up to you. Yarn over, pull through, and then go into the third one. Yarn over, pull through, just like so. See, that's starting to form now, and I'm gonna do that 1 more time. Yarn over, pull through, go through the second one. Make sure you pick up both loops. Yarn over, pull through, and then the third one, yarn over, pull through, just like that. Here's what we've got right now. Now just continue with the same pattern, literally don't change anything, and then when it's time to finish, I will be back to show you how to finish. Okay guys, so I've just measured mine and I've got 58 inches for mine. So you want your cord to be like this long, and you want to make 2 of them. But I feel like if you want to make it shorter than that, you can. If you want to make it way longer than that, you always can do that. But mine was 58 inches and I made 2 I-cords, okay? So just go ahead and finish up your I-cord. I'll show you how to finish now, just so I can go work on mine. Basically, as soon as you got your desired length, right? So what you want to do is you want to yarn, just while you got 3 of them on your hook still, yarn over through, pull through all of them, literally just like that. And then you want to chain 1, and then you want to cut off your yarn and then tie these and then weave them in. That's literally how you finish the I-cord, okay? So you want to just make one way longer than this. Okay guys, so for the start, we're going to use these 2 colors. I actually changed my mind. So I'm going to use this yellow and this red. The red is going to be the smaller star, and then the yellow is going to be the biggest star, and it's also going to be used for my scallop edging as well. So we can ignore the red one for now. And then to make your star, you're going to start by making a magic ring. Okay, 1 second. Start by making a magic ring, and to do that, you need to wrap your yarn around your fingers. So like get 2 fingers, wrap it around just like so, and then put your hook through, bring that down, twist, take your fingers out, and then yarn over, and then just pull through just like so, and your magic ring should be made. And now what we're going to do is, oh sorry, I'm struggling a bit there. What we're going to do is chain up 2 more, so 1 and 2. We've got 1, 2, 3 chains. We're going to put 14 double crochets into the middle of the magic circle. Can't speak, sorry. So I'm going to just put 14 double crochets. So 1, yarn over, put it through, 2, oh sorry, I'm struggling there, 3, 4, guys, I've got 14 double crochets in my circle, and I'm just going to put on the string pull on really tight on that string there. It should close a circle like this, and then on top of your chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, I'm going to put a slip stitch on top here. So I'm just going to go through this bit here, do another pull through, and then pull through that chain just like so, and your work should look like this. And now we're going to do 8 chains, so 1, 2, 3. Once you've got 8 chains, yeah, so we're gonna go into the second chain, skip this first chain right next to the hook, we're gonna go into the second one and we're gonna put a single crochet there. So put a single crochet and then a single crochet in the next space, and then in the next 2 spaces we're gonna put 2 off double crochets. So yarn over, not off double, yeah, we're gonna put 2 off doubles, sorry. So 2 singles, 2 off doubles, 3 doubles. So, and then we're gonna put 1 off double, and then another off double in the next space, and then we're gonna go put 1, 2, 3 double crochets in the next 3 spaces. So, sorry, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and then 3 double crochet, just like so. And now we want to skip 2, so we want to skip 1, 2, and then in the 3rd space we're going to put a slip stitch. Put your hook through, you want to pull through, and then pull through straight out there, and it should look like this. And now we're going to repeat this. Oh, sorry, the camera's shaking. Now we're going to repeat this, so we're going to chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then in the next space, not this one here, we're going to repeat the same and put 1 single, then another single in the next space, then we're going to put 2 doubles, another double, not double, sorry, 2 off doubles, and then 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then you want to count 1, 2, and then in the 3rd space you're going to put a slip stitch here. Okay, and it should look like that. And now we want 3 more, so repeat the same thing we've just done, repeat it 3 more times. Okay guys, so I'm just working on the last one, and then I'm gonna do my last double. Don't worry if it's curved, we're gonna either sew it on, you can sew it on, but I glued mine on. And then 1, 2, and then put your slip stitch, you can just find somewhere here, just put it through, round over, pull through, and then pull through straight away, and then just pull tight on that. And then you want to yarn over and you want to chain 1, and your star should be complete. 1 second, I'm just gonna cut that off and then pull it through, and our star should look like this. Okay, and now we're gonna make the smallest star. Basically the only difference with the smaller star is we didn't chain 8. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the smaller star now, just put that away. We're gonna do that with this red yarn, do it with whatever yarn you want. So with the smaller one, we're just repeating the same thing basically. So put your chain 3 in your magic circle, and then put 14 double crochets inside of this space here. Oh, sorry. Okay, when you got 14, you just want to like pull again tightly on that, and then you want to go ahead and slip stitch where that chain 3 is. There, I'm going to slip stitch right here, and then pull it through, and then pull tightly on that. So now what we're going to do is chain up 6. So 1, 2, 3. So after you've chained 6, you want to ignore the one closest to the chain, and then put a single crochet in this first one, and then a single crochet in the next one. Oh, and the next one, and then a half double crochet in the next one, and then 2 double crochets in the last 2. So 1 and 2 double crochet, just like so. Should be shorter than the yellow one, and then you want to skip 2, so 1, 2, and then go in the third one and put a slip stitch in the third one, just like so. And then you want to repeat this all around, so chain 6. I'm going to show you this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ignore this first one. In the second one, put a single. In the next one, put another single. And then in the next one, you want to put a half double. And then in the next 2, you want to put 2 double crochets. And then we want to ignore 1, 2, and then in the third one, put a slip stitch. And you want to repeat this 3 more times, and I will be back again. I finished, and I'm just going to do 1, 2, and then slip stitch here. Just find the space there. And then chain 1, pull it back, and then cut off your yarn. Just a second. And then pull that through. And your smaller star should look like this. So here's our big one, and then our smaller one. So when we align them, they should be something like this, like that. So I'm gonna glue this on top of this, okay? And that's what it should look like. Okay guys, so I finished, and here's what my work looks like. And now we're gonna glue the star on. So you can sew yours on, but like I say, put it on and then look at the position where you want the star to be, and then stick it on from there. But I'm gonna stick the red one on top of the yellow one first. Okay, so with my yellow star, I've already like marked 3 points. That's why you see that I was able to place it down. But I'm gonna glue the little one, which is this one. I'm gonna glue it on top of the bigger one, and just like align them like so, and then glue that on with my hot glue gun. You can always you can always sew yours on, but like obviously, like I said, make sure you put it on and see the position you want it to be first. I'm gonna glue this on, and then I'm gonna glue it on my shorts, and I will be back. I glued both stars on each other, and they look like so. And now we're gonna just place it in the middle of this and then glue it on, and that's literally your work done. You can sew it on. Like I said, I think I said that like 3 times. So I just glued my star on. This one's a bit wonky, but I'm gonna fix it now. But what we're gonna do now is just literally grab this. Remember, we made 2 of them, and then weave it through I'll weave it through the second round just here. And literally what you need to do is find a random spot. So get the edge of this here, and then just like put it through, just like so. You can weave it in with your hand with the hook. You can do whatever you feel like. Oh, I pulled that a bit too much. And then I'm gonna just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pull it out from this 4th hole right here. You can do 5, you can do 6, obviously this is up to you. And then I'm gonna do the same 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna push it through this hole right here to the other side. And then I'm gonna repeat the same thing till I get back to the end just here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then push it through this hole here. And you want to repeat the same for the front and the back, and that's literally your work done. Just like so. And then one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Push it through here. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Push it through. And then you want to go ahead and you want to just do this with the second one as well.